Suspended Gauteng Director of Mental Health, Dr. Manamela, will continue to testify at the Esidimeni hearings today. Let's cut live to the proceedings.
How did you do that? I allocated people to adopt NGOs in my office to say, you will be adopt this NGO, it's your baby, and then assist them. And where I could manage to visit, I did visit.
Is that all that you did?
It's all what we have done.
And now I'm not talking about other people, Doctor. I'm asking about, is that all that you did?
That's correct.
Now, if we can go on, 12 days later, on the 13th of September 2016, there were again questions before the legislature. Do you agree?
I don't have the date, but I will agree because we're dealing with a lot of legislature questions.
Now, at that stage, more than 70 people have died. Do you agree?
I don't have the data, but
Okay.
I was told, I saw from the Ombudsman's report that people who died, the number was as huge as you were
Can
saying.
I ask you, who provided the info for that meeting to the legislature?
Always during the process, the legislature question will come to either to the project manager or to my office, and then we start compiling the information.
Yes, I'm asking you, who compiled the information for the legislature? Was it you?
We compile a draft and send it to MEC, they finalize it.
Did you prepare the information for the MEC?
Yes.
Thank you. And it says that each patient only received one set of clothes from Life Esidimeni. Did that information come from you?
The information, I don't have what you have, but I know that it was reported in the project team meeting that patient received one set of clothes from the Life Esidimeni. I know about that.
And you didn't speak to the patients to find out whether that was in fact so?
I spoke to Life Esidimeni because there are people who are speaking with the patient at their level there. I spoke to the team. The project team members are the ones who reported that. The clinicians that were team members and the hospital and the NGO. So we speak about that, and then I had to take it back to the Life Esidimeni that we cannot accept the one set of clothes.
Did you say that there were only 8 new NGOs to the MEC?
I don't remember how many we said, but it was not all of them were not all new NGOs.
So you can't remember whether you told the truth or not?
No, I always tell the truth. I was not telling lies. But whatever you are saying now, I don't have the data, and I can't remember 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I know we had new NGOs, we had old NGOs.
The MEC said there were only one complaint about an NGO. Did that information come from you?
If it's in the legislature, it might have come from me, or it was, let me say, people will complain straight to MEC. Most of the complaints that I handled were coming from MEC. So I cannot say for certain that one complaints come from me or from the MEC.
And that there were no other complaints. So only one complaint about one NGO. That's what was said in the legislature. Is that correct?
I don't know. I was
Now
not
you
there.
know, Dr. Manamela,
No, I don't
you
know.
know about all the family members complaining to you
Yes,
about the
but
NGOs.
You cancel. I know they complained. They do it, including Mr. Jake Bloom were there, Sadek were there doing. But I cannot answer for things that I didn't write. That's my problem. I'm in a predicament because I'm being asked to respond on what MEC said to legislature. I don't sit in the legislature. I'm too junior to be there unless they really want me.
But you didn't provide the information now. Is that what you're saying?
I am not saying we didn't provide the information, but some of the information that you are directing to me, I can't remember them unless I see them.
Okay, I'm going to move on from that, except to say that the information provided is that 36 patients had died at that stage, whereas we know much more have died. Why is that information was wrong?
Can I explain that? Like I said in this proceedings, and I also said to the ombudsman that at the time when we prepared that legislature question, we had 36 patients who died, and we were only looking at the people because the question was saved from Life Esidimeni project. So because of that, we look at those who died from May, June, July, and August. So these are the numbers that we gave. But if we were told that everyone who was sent, who sent to life to the NGO or to hospital, let's get the number, there was nothing that will hide, because we'll inform the NGO and the district that will inform the NGO, and then we get all the data. But that is what was asked, and we look at placement period. And that is not the same period that the ombudsman and you are referring me to, because it was period from March, while we look at the period from May, June.
I'm just going to put it again to you, Dr. Manamela. If you were in proper control, you would have known that this move caused more people to die. Do you agree with me?
I was in a proper control, and I don't dispute that, but the timelines, we need to look at the timelines.
Now, I'm going to move on the timeline. In October, the Umbud became involved. Do you agree? To October 2016.
That's correct.
At that stage, you must have known something big is wrong. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, in the time that the Umbud was busy with his report, until it was released in February, 30 more people had died. What did you do to ensure that no more people die?
There are a lot of things that I believe we have done, although because I didn't have time to prepare for this question that I didn't know. But what I can tell you is that once one patient died, we never fold our hands and say they are dying or patient died. We had to find out. I asked the board member to assist us in investigating the death. We developed a rigorous program to go to the NGOs where death were reported and to find out. And again, we also have to say those NGOs where we think there are challenges, we can move them or we can move the patient.
Why didn't you move the patients? 30 more people died after you were aware that there's a huge problem.
We did move some of the patients, but we didn't know who's going to die at that time. But we tried. We tried our best to move the patient. We tried our best to ensure that the clinicians around the NGO are visiting the NGO, to an extent that I also went back to the board and say, clinicians who are board members, because they were also working before they are board members, they worked at Life Esidimeni. I asked them to say, Mama Sondo, can we allow this clinician to go to this NGO and assess the patient on our behalf? So we didn't fold our hands. And
why do you have to get the consent of Ms. Nsondo to do your work?
She is the board chairperson. She cannot just see the board people left without her knowing. And fortunate or to tell the truth, she never had problems, and then she released the doctors.
Dr. Manamela, why was it necessary to get Ms. Nsondo to do the work that you were supposed to do?
She was not doing the work that I was supposed to do. It was said here that the board failed the report to me. I had to ask her. She was the chairperson of the board. If we need legal advice, we'll go through Mrs. Masondo. That's how government works. If we need a clinician, we'll go through her, ask her to release the people.
I'm going to leave that for legal argument, because that is just wrong. What I want to put to you, after the report came out on the 1st of February, you still had 15 days in office before you were suspended. And in that time, few of the patients died. Why didn't you at that stage stop the dying? Made a plan to stop the dying?
I think the plan was there already. The plan was there.
Okay. Doctor, I must just put it to you to finalize this point. You had opportunity to speak out over a long period, and you did not. Just yes or no?
Through justice, you said I had opportunity to speak out.
Yes, we went through the timeline now, and we showed you that just let me finish.
Okay.
You asked, and I'm telling you, I showed you on the timeline all the times that you had the opportunity to speak out, even to the legislature, and you didn't.
It's just a pity. You said I didn't, and you were not with us. I don't know who reported that I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I just went to the office and go home. That's the implication I get now, and that is untrue.
Dr. Manamela, I want to put it to you, if you'd spoken out, people would not have died.
I don't know how I should answer that question.
Okay.
Because it appears that according to the question, I just kept quiet all the time. Yet we had meetings, yet we were in pain, yet we reported, but you are saying if I spoke out, I don't know what I should have spoken out.
You should have told that when you prepared the questions for the legislators that people are dying. You should have told the MEC, people are dying, stop this now.
I don't understand what makes you to think I didn't say anything. I don't understand.
You said that. Okay, let us continue. You also had the time.
Let's try again. You don't ask questions. Just listen to the question. We must make progress. Listen to the question and answer. Your question is, why did you not say anything? You could say, I have said this, and give us the details of what you said, okay? Don't shout back at counsel. I'd like you to listen to the question and answer it, please. Proceed, counsel.
Thank you. We've also, through the timeline, showed that you did not listen to what was being said to you. And I want to put it to you, had you listened, people's lives would have been saved. What do you say to that?
I will say I was not the decision maker for the program. So that is why whether I say it or not, I was not making the final decision. People were doing, the shadow MEC was also there, and the MEC was receiving the memorandum. And
the question is, you did not listen. Just deal with that, please. You're all over the show. Just deal with that, please.
I listened. I gave my time to listen to what people were saying.
Dr. Manamela, even now in November 2017, you are still not prepared to speak out against what has happened. What do you say to that?
I'm prepared to speak out. That's why I'm here.
But you're deflecting and you're denying. Isn't that so?
What I deny is what I don't know, or what I know is not correct.
Doctor, I want to put it to you that your attitude is not bringing the truth to this commission. What do you say to that?
That's how you perceive me, because I know what I went through, and some of you were not there, and now if that's how you perceive it, there's nothing more I can say, and I will ask myself, I'm here to assist, but it's like the decision is taken already about my submission.
I'm also wanting to put it to you that your attitude is not bringing closure to the families. Do you want to answer that?
I still don't agree because I'm telling you what I know, and it's difficult for me to be telling you what you want to know. It's difficult maybe because I'm just telling you what I know and what I know we did during the process.
I'm also putting it to you that your attitude is not bringing healing. What do you say to that?
I don't agree.
Doctor, I just want to speak to you about the people that went missing in this whole marathon project. Now, a lot of our people that we represent will come and testify that the mental health care user went missing for a period from a few days to 3 months. Can you deny that that had happened?
Through justice, can I just get it clear whether they went missing from our NGO or went missing from hospital or from life
Okay. Sorry, doctor, the question wasn't clear. Can I just make it clear? That for a period of a few days to about 3 months, some of them did not know where the mental health care user was being kept. And I'm sorry for the ineloquent put of that question.
That one I know about it.
And the reason for that is that there was not proper communication.
I guess so.
Yes. And that caused stress and harm to the families and the mental health care users. You agree?
I agree, but can I qualify it?
Angithi besivumelene ukuthi Nina, you're not going to heckle, please. Nam ndiyatineka from time to time. Bafuneka ngizibambe njengani, okay? So ngiyacela ukuba nizibambe nani ne. Asikwazi usebenza in a heckling arrangement, not in an arbitration tribunal, certainly not. Okay, Zamani, ngiyacela. Can't heckle here. Yantela, please. Okay. Counsel.
Thank you, Justice. You wanted to qualify, Doctor?
Yes, Counsel. I told you that at the beginning of our normal process with life, they reported 773 patients that does not have families. That's number one. The other thing was that when department commissioned the high report, a high to investigate, they also indicated 59% of the patient doesn't have families. So I'm not saying those who didn't know is because they didn't have families, but I'm just trying to let you understand it might be some of the reason. The second thing that I mentioned was that Life Esidimeni, in our agreement of planning of placement process, they were expected to inform the family that they have contact numbers and before the patient left, and we inform the patient's family when they arrived at us.
Yes,
so those might have been problem as I gave the report last week. Some of them, they say they text, no answer, they phone, no answer. But I know that some of the family members didn't know. And I don't know if they fall within the reasons I gave.
Doctor, I'm just going to not ask you a question further on
Tell
that.
me something. Where can we look at a comprehensive schedule of all mental health care users who were moved from Life Esidimeni to the specific NGOs?
I thank you, Justice. I have given last week the report of those who moved from Randfontein and those who moved from Waverley.
I'm not looking for numbers. I've seen your plan. They're just numbers. Listen to me.
Sorry,
I've been listening to you
my apology.
a long time, and just learn to listen, please. Is there a schedule with names of mental health care users who were at Life Esidimeni and to where they were moved?
Yes, Justice, there is a schedule where they were moved
With their names?
with their names.
Where do we find that?
It can be in my office.
How was it compiled and by whom?
Okay. The two DDs and social workers in each and every area where they were placed, they compiled the schedule and also indicating where they are going and indicating the names of the patients. So and so is at this NGO, so and so went at this NGO. Also, whether they found the family informed or not. So that schedule is there. It should be there in my office because
How would anybody then be missing if there's a comprehensive schedule of patients and where they were taken to?
Hey.
How would hundreds be missing?
Justice, I don't know how will they be missing, but I was thinking, I understand that the family never knew where they were.
Well, Dr. Manamela continues to be questioned by legal counsel as well as Justice Museneke. They're just answering questions about the detailed schedule that shows where each patient who was moved from Esidimeni was actually